when you finally boil it all down, magic is imagination. We are moving into an age of manifestation. Things become actually less material, more ethereal. The golden dawn is when we awaken to this new station of life. What you think becomes real quicker. Regain our imagination, regain our inner child, and let that inner child out.
My name is Frank Castle, founding member of the music group Ice Click and New York City Neo Shaman. After a serious injury sidelined my career in 2013, I decided to set out on an adventure to search for myself with the help of the plant medicine ayahuasca. What I discovered waiting for me was something I could have never prepared for. It was time for me to become something more, someone more. It was time I became fearless. I'm becoming fearless. In the darkest of nights, gonna let my light shine as my heart beats a rhythm with space and time. When the light starts to shine inside your third eye, you awake to the knowledge that you never die. I'm becoming fearless. What is up, everyone? That's right, it's me, your main man, Frank Castle, your sorcerer supreme, right here each and every Saturday night on Fearless. And I'm joined by my etherical translator and co-host, Paula Milo.
Hey, everyone.
What is up? Sorry, we're a little off. I am a little bit tonight. I'm beat up, man, after the storm and everything that we've been through. I got a little bit of a sinus thing going on, as you can see. Temperatures have been all over the place.
Yeah.
You tired? I'm only teasing you. We are beat up and we are a little bit tired. For those of you that don't know, we had a little bit of a flash flood here, a lightning storm, thunderstorm flood.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was so
bad.
terrible.
We are always prepared, like for everything, flashlights, candles, water, blankets, towels, like prepared. And we knew this was happening. We knew it was coming, and we did get prepared. We even went to Costco the day before, and then everything kind of just fell apart at the seams the day it started raining. And we're not going to get into it. It was just basically a clusterfuck. And it started raining, and then the rain started pouring into the house through the radiators in the wall in the bedroom, and the yard was flooded, and cats were stranded on window ledges because they couldn't get out of the rain. Our poor mama cat ran into the house. Like it was just a horrible situation. And then we lost power, first we lost power. And then we discovered all the flooding with flashlights.
It's just a weird moment, right?
It was
totally caught off guard.
It was just a totally chaotic time, and we were caught off guard. And and like I said, we're always prepared. Like we have we drink the filtered water. Frank has all the filters on everything, and we have gallon bottles that we fill that we keep the filtered water in. We had no water. We had a case of water that we bought from the store, but we had like no water. It was the perfect storm of unpreparedness. Like you can't even imagine. And then we just sat in the dark. The last time this happened, it was great. It was fun. And this time it was not. It was just like two angry people just waiting for the hours to pass till the next day comes. And then we had the big clean out, which was fun. And then we go outside and it looked like nothing happened. We had a little damage from the plants and everything like that, but it looks like nothing happened.
The backyard, for those of you that have been here before, right?
Like
it was
3 or 4 feet
above my knee.
On the side.
Walking towards the back.
In the back, it was like
right.
3 or 4 feet.
As soon as you walk out the door, you go to the right, and it's like being at a beach, walking out into the water.
And deeper. And how the rain did not come into the house, we are still shocked and amazed.
Yeah, through here. I'm
through the doorway.
Congratulations to the builder, because it's just the brick and then the wall, whatever. I don't even think they have the board up on the wall over here. And that's it.
Yeah, but the brick,
whatever they used worked great. This room, however, not so fucking much.
Bedroom, not good. Well, we have a theory. We think that
they're fucking around upstairs or something.
No. We think that
it started pouring in.
The water was. Everyone got hit with water.
Yes.
Everyone around here, even people that normally don't get hit with water, got hit with water. But we're lucky. The power came back on. For
those of you that have been here, the door that's right across from our door on the other property, the water
half
was
underwater,
all the way up past the knob. I never seen nothing like that before.
Pool. Like we were completely freaking out. So, now we're gonna move on, but. We, love to everyone who got stuck in the rain and had water damage and flash flood. I mean, people on Facebook. One of the people we know. I mean, her son's apartment was 3 feet underwater. I felt terrible.
Thanks, Frankie boy.
But hi, bad. Hoorah! But it was just bad. But then it got better, right? The next day the sun was out. It was like
I just want to say
like
that
10 degrees cooler.
It was a different world.
It was
both
like
days.
Coming out of the
apocalypse.
The apocalypse. It really was a very strange.
I was in the tent
situation,
and I was trimming the babies, right? And then when you're working on the plants, the tables are out and everything's out, everything's pushed away, and the place is a mess. The lights go out. I'm on the floor in the back under the tent in between the 4 plants under the trestle net. And I'm like, whoa, what just happened? Right. So now, and I hear drip, 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 drip. And I'm going, it must have started raining. That's when I was like, don't move. I got to find you.
So now in this apartment, we are prepared for this zombie apocalypse. We always talk about it. There is a flashlight literally every 1.5 feet.
You would have been underwater. In your old apartment?
Oh, in your old apartment, you would have been under
waist-high water. That's how I've never seen anything like this. The rain was going sideways. Lightning was everywhere. That's what freaked me out. It was really lightning.
And we have, the internet is plugged in the bedroom. Everything is.
That's the radiator
is the bedroom
behind me on the wall. We have that in every room.
In every room,
so the water was pouring out of that
pouring out of it, and then
onto
we had
the TV.
To move everything out of the way so that we didn't lose everything. We didn't lose the.
We worked fast with that.
Yeah, it was just horrible situation.
I've never had to do that much work.
Couldn't find a flashlight. No flashlights.
We have them everywhere.
We have them everywhere.
We are so prepared.
And they're always in the same place, right? So now he's in the tent in the back of the room. Now, meanwhile, we have containers and everything, like storage containers, pushed out of the way. It's dark. He hears a drip. I'm in the living room. There's cat blankets and area rugs down because we have some cats inside, some cats outside. I can't find a flashlight. He's banging into things. I now hear running water.
Yeah, it sounded like a little waterfall was going.
It's pouring through the wall and the ceiling and the radiator in the bedroom. And now we're panicking because if that goes, we have no internet, no nothing. And we're trying to move around the house in the dark. We can't find the flashlights. And then Frank finds his phone. And then we find one flashlight. And then
we find the candles.
Again, the candles. We always have candles.
We know where everything is. It was pitch black.
We lose power.
And there was stuff everywhere. We were not prepared for lights out.
It was horrible.
So
it was horrible. It was horrible.
I had a moment. So Paul and I kind of were like getting attitude with each other a little bit, right? Totally. So it was tight.
All day at each other.
And then, but we were trying to hustle at this point. So I go outside and I see Brian. I didn't know it was Brian. And he was at the one windowsill you can't open a window to.
in the kitchen on the side
And
of the
then
house.
I came, it was weird because I went into the kitchen and the cats jumped out the window. They just jump out the window whenever I'm there, but
They
you
didn't
can
realize how much water was
deep it
out
was
there.
over
So
there. It was
they-
like 3 feet of water. It
In
in
the
the
back of
back, it was like up to my waist. It was
So-
pretty fucking high.
this cat jumps out the window, but he doesn't realize
He doesn't know
he's
how to
jumping.
swim.
Well, they actually do know. how
No,
to
I
swim,
know, but
he was terrified. I know.
I never seen a cat that scared.
So he ended up swimming
He swam to the
to the
windowsill.
next windowsill, and he's on the ledge,
and he's just shaking.
and it's shaking and crying. And Frank is trying to call him in the house.
I go, you gotta come in. I gotta just jump to me because
I
there's
will
lightning
catch you.
everywhere.
It was just horrific.
And then I go, I guess this is gonna go down. Like a few nights before, I had a dream where we were on a farm and it was too much work. Remember we talked about downsizing the thought? It's just too much of a thought. I'm like, I got a bad back and there's a snowstorm and go get the donkey. Get the fuck out of here. The donkey's like a quarter mile away. I'm limping. Before I get to the donkey, the fucking bear and its cubs are gonna have a fucking field day biting my fat ass, right? So I'm like having this terrible dream, and I'm like, well, I guess it's got to be done. So I go out into the storm. I look out, and I'm like, I'm not going out in that. And then I saw Brian's face, and I'm like, I'll be right there, kid.
Yeah, he
I
waited.
put a hat
there.
on because the rain was going this way, and the way the light was coming in, it was terrifying to look at. I was like, wow, this is a fucking different thing. This is like a fucking, I'm going to walk through this shit. Well, because this guy's, remember when he got clogged recently and we were laughing, we're like, oh, the shit pipe's probably backed up because the sewer's over there and they had to drain all that nasty.
Yeah.
When I was walking into it, and
it was all clean water.
For the moment, but Aya had said to me, as soon as I got into the water, she was like, and you won't be staying in this water.
Oh,
like, get the fuck out of the water. Not just because of the lightning. She was like, the pollutants in the water is disgusting. The rain might be naturally good and yummy. It was freezing.
It's everything, but everyone's yard's backing up.
I walked up to Brian, and then I just said, you're going with me. I grabbed him, and he looked at me like, I'm going to jump out of your, and he looked down, and he was like, I'm going to just dig myself into your chest. Yeah. And he just dug in.
And then, so now
he would have jumped.
Towels everywhere.
So that was my first weather rescue.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not going to be able to find anyone else. Bear jumped out, and I was going, little bear. And then I walked around the house the one time, and under the air conditioner, the water was like a foot under it. So I was going.
We're lucky that the air conditioner still works.
I'm going, what the I don't. Dude, you're not finding nothing. I'm going to be finding dead bodies in the morning laying in the yard.
I know.
Because that's how much shit.
I know, but then
the next day, all that needed to be done was the house cleanup,
the sweep up, and
it was the most insane thing.
We had to disinfect.
It was
everything.
76 degrees, and it was sunny, and cool.
and breezy, and cool, and everything dried. We laid everything out outside, and
I was
we
like,
dried
"This is the most beautiful day. What the fuck is going on?"
I know. It was like
I thought today was 100%. Once again, the fucking. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of that weather app because it's never right. It was like tomorrow it's coming 10 o'clock at night. Everything goes off. Like, what the fuck? You guys are so wrong.
Well, about what?
It said 100% showers for the next 2 days. And at 10 o'clock, it was still safe from rain.
Oh.
So I was like, oh, we ain't got shit to worry about till tomorrow. And then when I opened the app, it was rain for the next day. But I'm standing in 76 degrees, perfect weather. I'm like, you guys suck. Must be a Russian or Chinese app, right? Oh, Lexi. Thank you so much.
Lexi.
We love you so much now. Sending you most
thank you. You don't have to do
vibes.
that. Thank you. Thank you. That was very sweet. Yeah, it'll be for the washing the towels from the flood fund. Yes.
So there are drop downs, I guess, like boxes on the ceiling. There's one right behind me. It's like a drop down where I guess a pipe's running through there.
Yeah, I'm sure.
In the bedroom, it was squirting out of there. So the wall and everything eventually, because that's an inside wall right here.
this wall, but that wall, the far wall, is an exterior wall, and it's a corner.
Yeah, so there's going to be some issues here.
I don't
we
know.
don't
We
plan
don't know. We have
on
to find out
maybe being here as long as that would take really to play out.
One can hope.
We had to downsize the thought and the plan and the idea.
Yeah, because it got it.
Tell them it was hurting.
Yeah, like it wasn't fun to think about.
10 acres.
Like,
I want 3,000 square fucking feet so we could all live and whatever. And I'm looking at these places, and I had one night last week. I didn't do the show. I was looking at houses, and I started having fucking panic attacks.
We had an Aya session.
Yeah. Well, we had quite a bunch of things happen.
A lot happened, and then that session didn't finish until almost midnight.
The Aya sessions have been so incredible that they start at 11 in the morning and don't end till 10, 11 o'clock at night.
It's like a 12-hour. Yeah,
and then
it's just rough.
In the middle of it, people will be like, "No, I'm fine. Really, I'm fine. It's all good." And I'm like, "You're not fine. Sit the fuck down.
Lay down.
You have to stop. No, I'm dead. I'm here. I'm right here." And then I'm gonna go lay down.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2 hours later, they pop back up. "No, I'm fine." 2 hours later, they go back. I'm like, "Whoa, these are intense."
Yeah. So we.
Plus, we get the purge from it.
Oh, of course. But I feel now everything is fine. I'm sorry. Now everything's fine. Like it was the next day was rough. The cleanup. I mean, that was
12 hours of hard hell. We were cleaning at night, and then you passed out, and then I stayed up for a little bit, and then I passed out. That room was like 100 fucking degrees, and it was 60 degrees in here, and no place to lay down because it was either moist or cats. And then Paula was on the couch, and I couldn't. It was too hot in the chair to sit back and just fall asleep. My ass hurt. I was like, I don't want to sit in the fucking chair, and I don't want to be in a tight fucking spot anymore. I've had it. Now, just something I want to mention. We are in Uranus retrograde. So we're in your Uranus retrograde, and it brings things up and pushes them out. I know that sounds funny and ridiculous. However, it's true. Yeah, so it reveals it reveals the darkest things that are inside, just latched on, waiting to come out. So leading up to it, you become a sandy little butthole. You don't know why. You don't know what's going on.
You yell at someone the whole day, day, just because, right?
Right.
Yeah, you just start with attitude.
Right.
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 Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
I'm glad we got that covered. So yes, it was very moist. Moist was definitely the place. Hey, Dave, come to Guatemala.
Yeah, Dave. Hi. Yeah. Right.
He has spiders in his house bigger than fucking our cats.
You want to go yell at him?
No.
You yell at him and just.
No.
I'm not yelling at you. I'm yelling at the universe, but it happens to be at you.
Well, you're my universe.
Then you should treat it better. You don't play with it like that.
This is what happens during retrograde. You'll notice that one person will scorn the other as if the other is never correct and is always
stop.
wrong.
You know what? That's in your
thus building a platform of nonsense. And then when the bottom brick is pulled out from that structure, the whole structure falls to pieces, which is exactly what the retrograde is for. It's to recognize
like Jenga.
Just like Jenga.
Okay.
You're great at Jenga, by the way.
No, you're
the best.
No, you're the best.
Awesome, especially from the couch.
Yeah, not that fucking. Not that
so,
terrible.
As you can see, it has been affecting us. However,
no, we're fine now. It was just,
look, little things that you don't recognize that are even there will test your mettle while you're impaired emotionally. Let's say in the middle of doing something you've been waiting to do, or how about this? Let me explain it this way. Let's just get off us for a second. So
sure.
Well, when you say it like that, it makes me want to stay.
I don't want to argue.
Okay, so the light schedule just went to 12-12 inside the tent. That means 12 hours on and 12 hours off. Okay, so when you do that, they go to bud, and they're going to start creating those buds that you smoke. However, give me a hand. You gotta take my good hand. Take my good hand. Right. So, as soon as that happened, and the lights came on. 4 hours into that, the lights went off for another let's say 10 hours.
Yeah.
So that fucked up the light cycles on the plants.
I know.
And then they had to be retrimmed and fixed. And it just, everything's been throwing everything else off to bring to the surface another thing.
Oh, even tonight at dinner, I made dinner and I made this. I made a very simple
really
dinner.
good.
No, but I fucked it up. Like, I rebounded.
Say it.
I rebounded. I cooked a steak, and I cook steak all the time, and it was so rare. I mean, it is like a cosmic colonic, though.
Get that shit out.
It really is. This has been a rough, and then in between this, we had company, like,
we're trying to host. Mom came back after a week. Excuse me, a week with my brother.
Yeah, and the kids.
We saw multiple friends and didn't know if we were even going to be able to do anything like that while trying to run a business and do your thing. I'm on a 30-day, my 30-day ban is up this evening. It was just up right before the show started, which is really fucking weird.
Really?
It said you have an hour left when I asked you earlier.
Yeah.
Do you feel like talking or some shit? And then you were like, oh yeah. So I was like, okay, cool. When I checked, it was just counting down. And I'm like,
thought we were talking, but then right before, Frank got dizzy and almost passed out because he had a bad headache and he needed 2 aspirin and he needed an ice pack.
Right before I faint, because it does happen that often, I'll get like a hot flash.
Yeah.
Right. And then it starts in my chest, like my waist up, and then moves away from my belly into my chest, into my neck, into my fucking head. And then by then I'm like pouring sweat and everything. But when you came in the room, I had already dried myself off. That's why I was like, yo, touch my head. Yeah. What's happening to me? And you're like, I know I pushed something out of my sinuses. I had that black and bloody fucking whatever come out after MMS once again.
Yeah.
Everyone's not feeling well. Forget about coronaviruses for a second and just remember flu season.
Not even
and
that.
Sinuses and allergies.
Seasonal allergies,
so, like upgrades from what we're doing.
Oh yeah. Well, I think we were getting a cold. Like we were getting
like a regular
sick last week. So we had both taken MMS for 3 days in a row and knocked it out. I mean, I believe I knocked it out.
I felt great.
Right.
And I was like, whoa, this is great.
The MMS actually worked on things that we didn't want working. So we're not going to talk about that. So, well, we are going to talk about it because I'm honest and this is what we talk about. So I wanted to post a very funny picture of my vegetables that I yielded from the garden. And it was like 2 cherry tomatoes and 3 string beans or something like that. And I said, I wanted to post it and I wanted to make a joke. Barren vegetables, just like my barren uterus, because I've been teetering between perimenopause and menopause. And we were going for this might really be menopause now. And Frank and I are like, we're just like counting down the months till we can be reckless and crazy. But, so man. I had made a joke a couple of months ago because Frank says, how come you don't drink the MMS as often as I drink it? And I said, well, because it works so well. I'm afraid that I'm going to start to get my period again. And he was like, well, that can't be a deterrent. And I was like, no, but I like the fact that I don't get it anymore. And, so we ended up taking the MMS. Now, I made this joke a while ago, and we ended up taking the MMS for 3 days in a row. And guess who got a period on the 4th day?
I'm telling you, this shit cleans you out.
It's a fountain of youth.
And
it's a fountain
I had coffee before. I would have had some before the show.
I know that. That's why I was surprised you wanted the coffee because
it was a wake up.
Anyway, 3 days I knocked out the cold. I definitely know I knocked out a cold. Frank knocked out the cold because we slept. So now today, Frank had a very hard time last night. He slept most of the day, and I didn't bother him because I wanted him to
schedule is
sleep it out.
completely off.
Now he did take MMS because I saw the jars out this morning when I got up. So I said, okay, he's probably sleeping because he's pushing out whatever he's got to push out. And then he ended up pushing out something through his sinuses.
It was
So
disgusting.
he probably was fighting like a sinus.
I didn't even feel it. It just
infection.
Clogged heaviness here
in your head.
And then my third eye, I keep telling you, it's going like this. Donk, donk, donk.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. Like it's doing this weird fucking thing. And the other day I was laying down right in the middle of the day. I had to put my fucking head down. I have to be in the sun for a few minutes. And I felt like my head was opening, like right here,
cracking open.
And then when I came out of my body to look, it looked like golden ones and zeros from a pirate's chest being
like a
poured
booty,
into my fucking head. And I was like, hey guys, you do me a favor? I got a fucking headache from this. You mind tuning that down? And they were like, but it's all yours. And I'm like, wait, what? And they're like, all of that information is all yours. I'm like, why is it all mine? They're like, oh, that's a collective from your whole collective. It's you. And I'm like, that's a lot, dude. That you just keep pouring it in my head. And they're like, oh, we got a lot to go. And then my head was fucking and has been thumping for the last couple of days. But today, when it came out, I mean, guys,
you feel wonderful.
When I talk about what looks like spidered antennae inside of nostril stuff, right? Like
I knew you didn't feel well. That's why
it comes out and it's black, and you go, "What is that?" It has tentacles everywhere, and you're just looking, going, "I guess it doesn't affect me like consciously, like it can't take me out of my dreams and do all kinds of shit to me. I cleared the AI a long time ago.
But that's just a buildup.
Physically, you don't clear it because it can't make me do its bidding doesn't mean that it's physically stuff, the antennas and all kinds of weird radioactive waves and things they put in the food and the water. You still get that, and it still physically affects you. That's all right. I wanted to get that all out. But you
didn't feel well for a few days.
Well, yeah, you drag into the mud.
Right, and that's what started it, because Frank gets cranky and picks on Paula for two reasons. When he doesn't feel well and when he's very hungry. You didn't feel well. That's why you've been a crank monster. Now you felt better.
I made the delivery of not getting. I'm like, we're not getting sick again.
It came out. As soon as you pushed it out, you blew it out. You blew it out of your nose. You said,
my head went light.
Yes, and you were so much. You felt so much better.
I fucking swear to Space Jesus that I feel like in this area in my forehead, I'm literally gonna grow a crystal out of it. Like it feels like that. The pressure vision gets that from Shiva. That's where that comes from. The crystal. People want to know what the fuck is that, and it's like that's because you're holding so much information, and maybe your uniform doesn't opt for the giant fucking noggin or the 30-foot character. You're just Shiva, so it's stored inside the crystal. Instead, you opt to have that, which looks fucking cool as it can be, thus making it an infinity stone. Then you're like, wait, what? We're gonna grow infinity stones in our head? And it's like, I don't know, maybe, but we've seen characters with them. Why do the Hindu characters get them and then the Egyptians ones don't?
I think they're all the same.
But in the Egypt, they hand out eyeballs. No, I'm just saying it's probably all the same stuff.
Thing. Yeah. No, I think it is.
I'm gonna get you, Fly. Don't think I didn't see you. You're right there.
It's not bothering you now.
Sorry.
So Frank has improved his backhand.
I forgot that I knew how to play tennis.
And we have this.
I'm pretty good too. I forgot.
Frank ordered this. It's a fly swatter, but it is probably the most inhumane and cruel fly swatter I've ever seen in my entire life, because it electrocutes the fly when you hit it, and it is in the form of a tennis racket. And so when Frank wants to get a fly. And we have flies in the house because we have to leave the mosquito netting down so we can leave the screen up for the cats. And it is now September, and that mosquito netting has been up since the beginning of June, and the cats cannot seem to master
the art of just walking around
of just going like this with their paw and moving the lightweight. I think it weighs
nothing. If you drop that from the Empire State Building, it's still there floating
it's still
down.
Nothing. It floats. It's
it might be over in Jersey.
Even in the rain, it was still light. I just don't. It's a barrier. It is something that I cannot understand, because the cats are completely terrified and confused and amazed by mosquito netting. I don't it blows like a curtain. I don't understand.
No, the best is when they try to get to the food, even though they know they just have to walk 3 inches around it. Yeah. They try to eat through the net and it catches their face and they go.
Or what about when they jump and they're standing on it? They don't know how to just step off of it. Let it go. Let go. Yeah, and then so we have to come over and like lift up their paws and. It's months now. Come on. Like it's months and months.
Well, they know other things now. Like Reggie's, I said, come.
Yes.
I said she came to the door. Yeah, she's been in the house for a minute now. Like she followed me to the door.
Yeah, 2 weeks like.
And I said, all right, come out. I didn't want her out. Yeah, I hear you echoing in my fucking head the last few nights. Do not let her out. I don't want her out. So I'm like, okay. Then I let her out. She came out. She looked at me and then she looked out. Upon the open world, and I said to her,
get in the house,
come on, me and you back inside, we'll play some string. And I opened the door and she just went right in the house. She didn't even fucking blink to go out there. I'm like, this is what's I'm gonna get to the questions in a moment, guys. She is me and a piece of me.
She's an extension of you.
And I was saying to you, the reason why she likes string is because it's that tether from me to her.
Yes, I believe
so. That makes her feel safe.
Yes.
And then when she gathers on me, you see how she lays on you and she does her little things like potting almost.
Yeah, I get it. But Reggie is an extension of you.
So I got to treat her the way I would treat me to make me do stuff.
Because she is you. She's an extension of Frank. It is like... So
you don't belong out there. You belong with me. Yeah. That's why you came here, to be with me, not to be out there.
Said, you guys, you're so stupid. You really thought you would get away scot-free with no kids. So they have been putting us in these stupid scenarios, and it's like dealing with an unruly child. Like if Reggie was to be diagnosed by a therapist, she'd have a defiant child syndrome, which is very similar to how Frank behaves sometimes. It's like,
she'd be the perfect cat if it was just
Aya herself will tell Frank, please lay on your back for 5 minutes. And he's like, no, I don't want to do that. Like,
yeah, we did the whole show on why I wouldn't just go like from this way to my back so they could do something that would be easier on me.
That would have taken a second.
And I'm like, I can't breathe. It's not happening, bitch. Right. And I turned over.
Because Aya's going to let him choke to death while she's so she's going to fix him physically and open him up spiritually, but she's going to also let him choke
to death on his own.
So and there were like 2 people in the room, but that's
watching, literally staring.
I mean, I'm not going to let him choke to death, even if I'm mad. I'm not going to let him choke to death anyway. So just saying.
Thank your guides, because we're that crazy.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you, Paula. How about that? Thank you, Paula, when you see her the next time. So Reggie is Frank. So Reggie and Frank were doing this tug of war of who was going to give in first. And they both buckled because Reggie is not an outside cat anymore. Reggie is an inside cat who likes to go out. I watch her behavior with the other cats. She definitely is not an alpha. She tries to be, she runs some of them out, but she's not. Like when it definitely comes to pecking orders, like she's not even a consideration.
I watched her like give up on the bullshit.
Yeah, like she doesn't even want to be a part of
it. Even the cats aren't.
Yeah, so now it's like get your ass back in the house. That's it. You're in for the night. And I like it better because I feel safer. I mean, the other cats can handle themselves. Reggie, I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. She's
not ear tipped, and people walk by and go, "What a beautiful cat!" I've seen her whack people before, and I've seen 3B whack people. I saw that Asian chick walk up, and she bent over and was like, "What a beautiful cat!" And it went whack, and then I'm like, "Don't let me come over there and throw a punch on one of you, right?" And the girl just
got up, was like, what are you doing, touching my cats? And she just started walking with her friends. And I'm like, man, she's gonna pick up my cat and walk away. And the cat was like, no. I would have choked her.
Or you could say, please don't touch the cat.
No, because people thief shit. And this is gonna be, I'm gonna answer questions, but it's part of the show tonight. And I wrote it down. Shit like lying to yourself and then lying to your shaman or lying to your people.
Oh,
because
okay.
Right, so it's kind of a thing. People thief, they steal. You want the best in people, but if someone can get away with something, we've seen it infinite amount of times, right? But we also seen the infinite amount of times which doesn't get reported on, the good people that do things, like the cops that do good shit.
Oh, of course.
Because I know a lot of cops.
Apparently, if you don't
my
have
buddy
a camera,
Danny is, anyone that would hang out with me would hang out with him, straight up. But he's straight 5-0. But he don't put it on it. I'm just saying, there's cool people. They don't get reported on. Oh, look at the good you did. That's so wonderful. Like, yeah, you get word of mouth of that. That was very nice what this person did. But you get a lot of fuck them over there.
We laugh about it. Like all the we get sucked into like the dodo, the animal rescues.
That's just my
who
favorite.
Rescued a fucking squirrel or
there's a kangaroo living with a coyote, and they have a bird.
The bull walks right in the house and doesn't.
Oh my god, the
buffalo doesn't knock anything down.
Not
we can't get
one
the fucking cats
thing.
to wipe their feet. Okay. Anyway.
And doesn't poop or pee.
Only
in the house, though.
Anywhere. So all of these wonderful stories we're watching, and then we're thinking, and then we're seeing shit on Facebook, and we're like, oh my god, how does anyone rescue anything without a camera?
This fucking penguin swam from Antarctica to this guy.
Yeah, just once a year.
Once a year makes the trip to him
6 years ago. So
something special is happening with the animals.
But Frank and I are like, Jesus Christ, if we had a camera with us every time something happened, nothing would ever get done. Like,
I think we talked about it. My brother was here for when Oscar was smoking weed.
Good on him, because
my brother
he's gonna get a feeling.
None of this.
Okay.
He's like, yeah, whatever. He's not rude.
I love Frank's brother. I love him.
Shout out to the Red Cup Review.
I love him, right? We met first. He's bitter because, we were friends before Frank, and then Frank came in and fucked it all up because,
I came in with you and he goes, oh, come on, man. What the fuck?
How do you know her?
What are you doing with her?
Yeah.
I go, no, that's my girl. And he goes, when? I go, that's the girl I was telling you about.
I met his brother a year before. And,
man, that's the girl from my route, bro. I was like, not anymore.
No,
son.
Because I was Baz. I was
sister.
Baz's friend.
Yeah.
So he knew me that way because we knew.
I was the outsider in that clique.
You were on tour when I met them. I think that was the night that I bought. If Baz is still on, I think that's the night I bought you the coffee pot. I met everybody, and then
we all drank from that coffee pot.
Rob gave me a hard time the first night he met me, and then I fell in love with him after that. Him and Laura, but I already knew Laura anyway. So
he was sitting where she's sitting, looking at her on the couch.
Now, Frank's brother thinks we're weirdos. He thinks we're completely fucking crazy. He doesn't understand that
when we tell the story, we're not fucking lying.
He doesn't understand, like,
Timberwolf, I am going to answer these questions. I will get to it in a moment.
Sorry. But he's like, I don't understand why you guys are always laughing, why you're happy, why you're always doing stupid shit. And it's
how do you have time to cook steak dinner? Like just weird stuff. you guys have steak dinner.
I have kids. What?
You made cookies?
Yeah, you made cookies. Oh, like the other night, I woke up in the middle of the night and I couldn't go back to sleep, and we made brownies.
Yeah,
we had brownies with ice cream. Anyway, so
it was like 2 a.m. We were
awesome.
going nuts. This place turned into a bakery.
Yeah, and then we had.
I was like, it's like being on the job.
I know, and you were like, I don't think I'm gonna like it. And then you were like, oh my god, this is delicious.
The ice cream with it was the bomb.
So Rob really thinks we're weirdos, and he thinks like the cats, like he doesn't want to come here because he thinks like, I don't know, like, he knows now.
I think he secretly loves it.
He does. He told me
and doesn't want to leave.
He loved my kitchen.
Like when we get a portal, we'll put it like in the closet.
Oh, one of
we'll
those black cats.
we'll
with the
make one to
strong-
like Grayson's room, so Rob could just walk into Grayson's room and go in the closet and come out here.
I would just call him Nick Fury and see what we could.
And
do
then,
about it.
well, I'm just saying it would be
Okay.
funny because he
All right.
was sitting here babbling
All right,
away.
so he's sitting here. He came over a couple of weeks ago. He's sitting here. I'm sitting on the couch. He's sitting where I am, and we're all facing.
We're all
each
looking
other.
over there.
And Oscar is on my lap. And now this is not.
But he was sitting next to you, right up alongside you, just sitting there with us. Because I
Yeah.
kept looking at him, and he looked like he was part of the conversation.
Right.
Listen,
now-
this is the funniest
So
shit.
now Rob is looking at me like this cat's so well trained. Like
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and it's
yeah, like,
no,
he's such a
I
nice
don't-
little guy.
I don't make him do this. Obviously just wants to hang out. So now Frank and now Rob can't smoke because he's on the job, and he won't smoke because he's on the
But
job.
I'm huffing away with I'm huffing a blunt
Right.
with
So now we
Paula.
have the fans on and everything. We have everything open. So Frank and I are sharing a blunt, and you got to tell him.
So
now-
Oscar looks up when she first gets the blunt. He goes, because he doesn't. This was the first time he did what he did,
this was
but
the first time he ever did
he
it.
does this all the time. He'll go,
Yeah.
and then if he doesn't like it, he will fucking throw shade at you instantly. So
Yeah,
you have
but
a
if he
cat
likes
throwing
it-
shade. He
if he
throws his tail
likes
up
it-
and he walks away with his butthole out.
Right.
But if he likes it, he fucking
he lingers in it. So I mean,
does
not that
this
we try to get him
weird
high,
shit.
but if he
You
smokes, he
could-
smokes it.
not. You can't blow it in his face.
No,
That's
but if it's
but
around
Paula
him.
does this thing where she's talking and then she'll go, and whoever's in the section area that she blows it out, like she'll try to keep it away from my face, so she'll go, and Oscar's sitting right there. He won't move. He'll go like, oh
Right.
yeah, and you could see him breathing it in and enjoying himself. Now he had all his teeth removed. He's been around a while. So
So
she gets the blunt.
I
He
get
does
the
that.
blunt,
I
I
kind of
do it.
turn and I'm looking at Rob and his fucking face goes, and he goes, is your cat smoking weed?
he
Right?
goes, did that
Did
just
you-
happen?
did that just
And
happen?
I go, you just saw it. It's the first time it ever happened.
All right. So,
So now
show your hand up high. Give me your
So-
hand.
I got the weed, and Oscar's next to me
And he's like,
with his paw, so you can smell it. So Rob's, So now
That's
I'm
what
like, oh
he's
my
doing
God.
that
So
shit.
It's Oscar's paw. He's pushing,
and
the
he's
weed.
grabbing her
Like
and
he's gonna
pulling the
take a-
weed
like
to
he's
his
gonna
face.
Take a pull. And I'm like,
And my
we're
brother's
not-
freaking the
I'm
fuck
like,
out.
No, I don't let the cat smoke. I don't. He
He's
never
like,
did
I
that
can't
before.
believe I saw this. No one's gonna believe me. And we were,
So I started
Good.
laughing. I was like, "Good, you little motherfucker!" I said, "Good, no one's gonna believe you." I said,
tell a
"Good,
magical
everybody." I
story
said,
that
"Tell
no one
everybody."
believes.
Because no one believes us.
They'll
ever.
look at you and go, "Oh, you're full of shit.
You
Shut
woke
up."
up in the middle of the night and made brownies. Like that's what they're thinking.
You'll know what
You
it's like
woke
when
up
I
in the-
showed up with ayahuasca and I'm
but-
like,
but-
I think I'm work.
No,
This is working.
not
Oh,
even
shut
the-
up, Frank. Go in
Not
your
even
room.
the aliens. Like you woke up in the middle of the night and made brownies.
Mm-hmm.
No, you didn't.
See that to people with 2 kids that are in
That's
school.
too much. I get it.
There's all kinds of crazy shit going on. They're like, so you guys just. I'm going to say my opinion on this, what I think they think in their
Okay,
heads,
We
honestly.
could be wrong.
So they sit around all day, they smoke pot, they fuck, they make brownies, they pet cats, they fucking make pancakes. He does this fucking show once a week, then they smoke pot and fuck again. I'm like, they're
Yeah, but we
looking
also
at
go to
us like we're
Costco
fucking
and-
single people wearing capes, just going, yeah, today we're just gonna wake up and fuck each other and drink fucking mojitos and play with I'm petting my pussy cats. Yeah, right? Like it's nothing like that. It's fucking
No.
like having kids, and
Yeah.
it's just like everyone else's shit.
Please. The baby bear got me again today. He got me. He got me twice yesterday. I was taking a nap.
He steps on your fucking head and goes,
I was on the couch. I was taking a nap. It was right before Rich and Laura got here. And I was taking a nap. We had such a shitty day the day before because it was a clean out after the rain.
yeah, it's like
And
opposite of what
so
they
now,
think.
Now the next day I said I don't want to do anything. And I'm taking a nap. I took my shower early. The house was pretty clean. You know, I straightened up and Rich and Laura were on their way. I had like an hour to take a nap. And he comes in and Frank is standing right there
go,
because now
"Don't."
I'm just starting to fall asleep, right? As soon as he says, shh, what is this little cat?
I go, what the fuck is wrong with
I
you?
am here. He's letting me know I have arrived. I am now in the living room.
And mind you, what I'm doing is nothing. He was at top volume. I'm like,
This cat got me twice today.
you know what it is? I think that each one of them wants a personal time with mommy and
I
a
get
personal
that, but,
attention. No, so they see you laying there and they're like,
well, she ain't doing nothing.
there's nobody here, bro. Ain't nobody gonna say fucking nothing to me. I've arrived.
I can't.
Right?
It's so stupid. I can't. You have no idea. It's just, it's a nap. It's like a glorious, beautiful, wonderful thing. And this little motherfucker gets me every time. I can't.
It's being woken up by
and
cats.
You can't shut because
cats
the window,
throwing up.
If you don't,
cats pooping.
Look, if we don't leave the back window open, then you hear them plucking and screaming through the screens
Ding.
On the side of the house, and then
Ding.
the neighbors see it. Like, I don't want the neighbors to see like this craziness, right? So if I don't do that, then it's through the living room window, and like he was hanging on the front door. He was trying to get out. I was gardening, and the back window is open, and he knows this, but now he sees me through the screen door, and he's hanging onto it like those baby on board magnets, and he's going, what? And I'm like by the tomatoes, and I'm like, the back window is open, but no, you're here. So let me stop everything. Like, get up, like I could get low. Yeah, okay, but it takes me time to get back up. All right. And then, no, we gotta, and it's like, what, are you on fire? No, I just wanted to be outside in the grass.
I just wanted to see you, but then now I'm good. Bye.
Yeah, I'm gonna go clean my ass over there now. I can't.
The outside is becoming crazy. I
like,
opened the door. When the fuck was it? Last night? Or was it before? And the skunk was standing there. I think it was last night. I came out like Frankenstein. And then he just looked at me, and he was a big fucking skunk. I was like, whoa. And then was like, oh, okay, it's you. And just didn't do anything that would make you think something bad's going to happen. And the same things happen with the raccoons, although when they gather in like 3 or more, kind of.
Yeah, I get a little worried too. Yeah.
Oof.
But they're cute. They go, it's so funny because
they take over. They're like little monkeys running around.
The other night, this was the pre-argument dickiness, flood night. We hear, and we set up the other security.
She has the camera outside
right by the food, so we can see, what goes on, if they need
who's eating, if the food needs to be filled.
So I get an alert on my phone. Now Frank and I are watching a movie inside, and the alert goes off. So we check that, and we hear chittering, and
like sounds we're not used to hearing.
It's like chittering, and it sounds like they're laughter. Going like yum 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 yum. Right. So I look on the he's sitting here, and I'm on the couch, and I go to look on the.
It looked like Wild America.
And it's
like, what the fuck is going on out there?
The raccoon, and she's eating, and she looks like she's savoring everything. So Frank goes on his phone and sees the camera, and now we're both two idiots. We're both watching the raccoon outside the living room window eating and going, oh, and it's like, okay. And then we sneak by the door, and we're watching, and she just comes out and like waves. And then like the skunk comes by, and you see Baby Bear, and you see Sugar Pop.
They're all there
They're
together.
All in the yard hanging out, and it's like, all right, it's.
This is like close quarters though, hanging out, so it's pretty interesting.
It's weird.
I was telling Paula I had a raccoon moment, and I'm curious how everyone else has moments with animals as well, because it's beautiful sometimes. But the raccoon that's like the baby that's been here the whole time.
Yeah, we're watching
getting bigger
her grow
now.
Up. Yeah.
Was sitting there. So
now this is the same raccoon. Wait a minute. This is the same raccoon that when Frank built the ramp in the winter, when
came
it
in
snowed,
the window and was looking in.
She came in the window. This is the same raccoon he's talking about.
So it's 2 feet from me. So I'm outside smoking, and I look, and I go, "Hey, raccoon, how are you?" So the food dish, she goes, so she's like sticking her hand in the dish, and it looks like she's stealing it. She's got the burglar, like the
La Bandita.
The La Bandita, right? So she's looking at me doing that. And I had this flash to the movie Trading Places with Eddie Murphy, right? So they put Eddie Murphy, they take him out of the ghetto, and they put him in this like mansion house, right? And he's walking around as they're talking to him. The 2 rich white guys, they're like, what are you doing? So he's like, what are you talking about? He's just taking stuff and he's putting it in his pocket. And then he's like walking to the next thing. And he goes, all of this is yours. And he's like, what? Yeah, okay. Yeah, no problem. And he's like sliding more stuff in his pockets. And I'm like, no. All of this belongs to you. Like, you don't have to steal any of it because it's yours. And then he has that, she takes everything out of his pockets and he has this realization like, yo, this shit belongs to me. The raccoon didn't go nowhere except back into the dish.
She kept taking.
And then there was a pile. I guess that was the to-go pile. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then she stuck her face back in it and went to work. And all this happened, and I was outside for maybe a minute and a half. And I started laughing, and the raccoon didn't go anywhere. And I'm nervous around any animal that I don't know, period. I'm just how I am, because Frank is Frank at first.
Why don't you tell me what happened
when I come, it just changes the scenario.
Changes.
But like I said, I personally wouldn't go sit in the lion cage just yet.
No.
But you will get to a point.
Oh, yeah. Well, let me tell you.
Because I've seen some shit around here that I don't understand. And all I can say is the teachings we've talked about, things that have taught me the beings.
Now, let me tell you.
The things, the animals make first contact with you.
It's so funny because now, like the garden fairies, you believe it or not, but we have garden fairies. So, like, Frank,
I have my own personal garden fairy.
I say hello to them all the time. So now there's these beautiful, I planted, I threw down, it's a wildflower mix. We got it at Home Depot. And
everything's growing
they're
crazy.
Beautiful. There are these beautiful flowers that are coming up. And you know, when they start to die, I deadhead them and I cut them back and everything. And so we've gotten these beautiful bees that are coming. And I say,
they're like the fat bumblebees.
We say hi to the bees all the time. So I was out there this morning and like I had this beautiful moment, and this bee was just pollinating all the flowers, and he was covered in pollen, and
they like fly happy.
We were
you
like,
can tell.
Yeah, he looked so happy,
like,
and I was like,
shit,
please just, thank you for letting me be here with you. Don't be afraid of me. I'm just doing my thing over here. I had to repot a few things, and I repotted 2 plants, and they were like, it was like they said thank you after. But this bee just kept staying with me the whole morning, and it was a beautiful experience. And, I never would have had time to pay attention to shit like that before. Like, it's beautiful to me, and like now I planted more wildflower mix, and I mixed more of the wildflowers in with the veg, and now we're getting more of it. Like, we're getting more veg. So it's paying off. And like, if this is a test run, like I'm good. I'm happy.
It's got to be on the smaller scale, and that's what it comes down to.
Yeah. So tell them what happened with the raccoon. You were sitting here the other night.
Oh, the raccoon was in the kitchen, and I got up and I was like, you can't be in here. And I ran at the raccoon, and she didn't do shit. She just turned and looked at me, looked at the window, and kind of made her way, had to walk up the boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Get in the window. She looked back at me like, you ain't shit, and then just walked out the window.
But Frank thinks that the raccoon watched the cats,
and is now
right
like
before that
just sits right there in the bush.
Jump in, and he think because she came in.
Now
right
they all
after
play monkey see, monkey do.
I know.
These animals, but then they're, dare I say this? Let's say the mother raccoon, not really, but the baby raccoon that witnesses this from birth, right? Or like as a child from the backyard, over and over and over has a, remember I said when the cats were born in the 3rd round, it was Reggie and them.
Yes.
Parker.
Yeah.
They were different cats.
I know. Different.
They're not like the other cats. These cats
are
ready to be with a human
people
and still be okay going outside.
They socialize their parents. That's why, the mothers.
And I think it's like training that comes from the DNA of the parents. But we were 3 rounds in. That 3rd round, those animals were all right. A lot of them are dead, but they're so smart. They were talking. They knew how to interact with you. Merlin would sit with me at night and then try whatever fucking food I was eating.
I know.
No cat has done that.
Weird.
She'd try everything. She'd be like, individually, you just like, she'd put a paw on it. Like, I want that. And I used to just cut it and just hand it to her, and she'd try it. If she didn't like it, she'd leave it there. If she fucking loved it, she'd be like, homie, hook it up. I've never seen that before. But now here we are years later into this.
I know. And,
and the ants still haven't come in the house.
Yeah, I know.
The spiders still haven't gathered and eaten anyone.
I was thinking about that the other day.
The mosquitoes, they come in and we get random.
Yeah,
but
random
we're not
now.
swamped with anything.
No, surprisingly. And I think it's all the agreements because I have to say, even the
I mean, we right off the parkway. There would be
raccoon,
massive.
That squirrel. I mean, I don't know where she went. I don't know if they. I don't.
The cats do terrible things to squirrels.
Let's just say she hasn't come back yet. She used to jump in the window all the time, and I wonder if it's because if it was learned behavior, because she used to see the cats come in.
That's what I'm saying. And the mother's just seeing it the whole time
because she was very comfortable with coming to the window.
And then being in the backyard, and then the kid's not going to be as scared as the mother was because doesn't understand that version of scared. Yeah, because I've been here the whole time. It's my backyard.
This other squirrel that we're feeding, I put a I don't want to put a bird feeder up again because it does make a big mess. I'll wait till we move.
It makes a mess, and then it's a target for the cats.
But I put a little feeder up for the squirrel specifically because she's preggers, so I want to make sure she's okay and she's fed. But she's very leery of people, and you know what? I don't even want a relationship. I just make sure
you don't want one coming into the front yard. Every time
terrible.
I see it, it's
they
like
get too comfortable, and then
it's almost like a trap.
I know. I feel terrible.
And that you set a trap, but you didn't. And then the squirrel thinks because it for like a month doesn't get caught, and and then it starts to just hang out, and that's when Bear comes out and goes nuts.
Right, and you don't even see him. He just blends in with the shadow. Anyway,
let's answer some people questions.
Yes. Please.
Now, Timberwolf, I'm going to go back to your question. This is about probably a half hour ago, more. It's funny you asked this question because, and it's back at what I was saying, the golden ones and zeros being poured from the pirate's chest into my head. And they're saying that's you, the information. Now, I talked with Joe about this the other day, and he was saying that the information is color coded through emotion. All right. I don't know what just happened there.
That was weird. It just, I wonder if someone's here with us.
Yeah, the screen just jumped. All right. Anyway, we made it. So, he was saying it's color coded, and I was like,
that makes sense.
What one of the first shows we've ever done, I don't even think you were on the show yet. I talked about Isis showing me love, and then it was associated with the color red, and then she showed me like love where it's so blissfully ignorant, where it could be detrimental,
every shade of red,
and then all the way to I love you so much, I can't be without you. That means you can't be here. Boom, boom, and they kill each other. And I'm like, whoa, right? If I can't have you, no one will. I love you so much. So she's like, love could be used as a weapon, homie. So don't just go around flinging love and light, because it's not about love and light. It's about you finding balance. And sometimes you might have to pick up a sword and fucking swing it.
Oh,
and I was like,
that.
Get out of my head.
I do too.
I come from that side of the coin.
I feel very differently than I did about a lot of things. A lot of it is age and experience, I would say, but a lot of it is being put in certain situations. I feel very differently about things, and
okay, so
I don't think my mind is going to be changed. Wouldn't you agree? Like you feel like more strongly about the things you feel strongly about?
It's my structure is solid, but my belief system is fluid.
That's how I feel.
So I can move
like the backbone of
like
this.
freedom
We've been
through the
telling
entire
the same
system.
story since the beginning. We've had the same goal since the beginning. Nothing has changed. This is why I don't understand why people don't understand.
It's okay. They're not there yet. Let's just keep with the okay. So Frank, would you associate a feeling with the golden information? So you've had the answer is yes. And the answer is it felt like home. Too much home. Sitting with source. But your source. And you're fitting it in your body. Now, you've had the jewels poured into your
Oh yeah, like Skittles.
like
yeah.
Skittles into your mouth.
Into your mouth. My
What
jaw was.
feelings and
My
emotions
head
do
was
you
put back,
associate
like
with
there
that?
was no there was no limit to how far back it could go, and they had this thing opening my jaw up, opening my mouth up, and they were just pouring these jewels down my throat, rubies and diamonds and emeralds and um other jewels like turquoise and I mean just beautifully colored jewels, and they were just pouring them down my throat, and I'm like, wow, I'm not choking like because it's
Like in a
always
video game when you get upgraded with jewels and
it
gold
is, but it's
and
always with me, it's always like the literal, like, oh okay, I'm not choking, like the literal part of me, like
the 3D
you know
things.
yes,
All of that shit's going in my
and
mouth and
it's
I'm not
always
choking out.
the no, but it always is like that, always like the spiritual thing is happening, yeah, this outrageous and wild and mystical thing is happening, but literally this is what's going on too.
But could you associate an emotion
I
to the
did.
colors of the Skittles? This
I
is
did.
really
It was
basically
like
the
a
question.
taste of the rainbow, but it definitely was doing something to my heart chakra, definitely. And I feel my sacral. I feel all of them actually were lighting up, but it
Okay.
was what I needed the
Do you-
most.
I know that was a random because it's random colors falling into you. But like, does the blue make you feel love and the gold make you feel connected? Because it's color coded. So your emotional output, right? So red, rage, I get angry, raw. Then all of a sudden, this color red pops up behind Frank.
And then it's love. Yeah.
And then I love the puppy.
Yeah.
You just kicked the puppy. Now I have to kill you out of the love rage.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. And then there's the love where, oh my God, we're getting married. And then the heart forms behind us and it's that color red and that shape.
Right.
That happens with everything. So you can associate, if you ever see or want to see it again, the feeling you get from that color. So if the color's like, oh, look at that color door. Oh, no, go into that door.
Right.
But then right next to it's another shade of the same color. And you're like, oh, that's the one. Go in that one. You'll feel good.
I felt complete bliss. And it was warm, like warm glows. It was just warm glows, and I felt complete bliss. But definitely I was associating with the colors, all of the colors, because even tasting, I had tasted pineapple, and it tasted like the best pineapple in the world. And for me, the color was yellow, but it was the best pineapple color I had ever seen in my life. And it was just a regular pineapple I got in the
all of
supermarket.
those associations thought in your mind makes you remember the situation.
It was the joy and the beauty of it.
There you go. So
That's
joy, beauty, yellow.
Was the joy. And I kept telling
what
you,
were the colors of the pineapple?
It was
it's as above, so below.
It was yellows, and I kept telling you should be so proud of what you did. You're a great shaman. Remembering you thought I was joking, but I was actually complimenting him on the brew because I felt so much gratitude and joy and bliss, and it was coming through in yellows.
You got to understand too, I've never been around that much gratitude and bliss. It looked funny to me, and funny not. It felt alien. I didn't understand it.
I know, but
I'm looking at it going, I'm still going back to that moment going, I remember when I didn't understand to when I understood.
Mm-hmm. I guess it's hard.
When it's not your time, it's not your time.
No,
you can't force it. You can't try to fit the square peg in the round hole. You can't place blame and say that thing is causing me not to be able to get there. That's all a construct of fucking bullshit.
Because I'm still me. I've always still been the same. I'm exactly the same way as before, just better. So,
Yeah, I think we're all changing. By the way, shout outs to KG, Sons of the Sun.
Yeah, it's so funny. Sons of the Sun. Kev, I feel the same way. I mean, I'm down to like 1 or 2 meals a day.
You got down in weight. Like
I know. I lost
you gave me the other, lost another 5?
No, that was the 5.
Because you said to me, I would never hit this weight ever again.
I would never break this weight ever again
in my life.
of my
and
age.
You're there.
and I went 10 pounds under that. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I mean, I'm still like a tomato, but
Whatever.
you know,
We're
whatever.
older.
But, you know, I just can't, I don't look at certain food the same way at all. And
It's
now
hard to
the
I
next
used
thing
to
is
eat
pork.
bread.
I talked to
We had
Frank
no-
and it's like, you know, whatever. I'm going to
Can I tell that? Can I tell it? I got to remind everyone it's part of the show deal.
Oh, good.
It's part of the contract. Sorry.
Good.
So I know a lot of people like pork.
Oh.
Pork can be delicious. I haven't had it in a long time, but I have.
You
I
eat
had whole.
sausage every now and then.
You're gonna You're gonna.
No, I'm not going to
interrupt it.
interrupt. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So, like I was just about to say, however, I do eat bacon occasionally, and I have eaten some sausage. And only through knowing that it's going from the butcher to here, and
Yeah,
it's
I
not
know,
like
I
a
know.
giant thick dick sausage. It's like these
No,
fucking
I take it
thin
out of the
sausage. Yeah, you do
casing
all
and
this
I
stuff
make
to it,
yeah,
and
I
I know
know.
you're making it with love and all.
Mm.
So I'm like, well, I know that'll be delicious. What I'm gonna say to everyone is, and I don't think this pertains to wild boar. I don't know why there's like a section of the classification of the species. Keep making that face. I'm gonna do it like this. So the classification of the species, just like the Neanderthal to a human being, they're both humanoid, but both separate species. But if they both hung out together, could be one unit. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Okay, the actual pig, the pink pig, what we see, like a piglet and all that
Mhm,
shit. Okay,
mhm.
they are as close to you in species, okay, as the mushroom and some form of ape or monkey. You're all lined up together. So eating the monkey will do one thing to you. It's like eating a human being. If you eat the pig, it's like eating another human being. That's why they don't eat pork, because it's cloned fucking people. It's human to other people. That's why they're so smart and shit. It's just genetics mixed. Okay. So that's why I don't enjoy it. Even the cats wouldn't eat the bacon when I ordered it, because that's why I was having it put on the burger, and I was feeding Oscar, and now he has no teeth. And then he still didn't want the bacon. Then Reggie didn't want it. And then I was like, I don't even know why I'm eating this.
I get it.
So the conversation has to happen eventually.
That's
You don't
fine.
have to
I
do
get it.
anything about it. The choice is everyone's individual.
No, I get it.
But
I get
that's the reasoning, is what I'm saying. So when you move that out of your diet and stuff, it will clear you up instantly if you're a heavy pork eater. That's all I wanted to say. I'm not judging anyone for anything they do, because I've done, and I probably do a whole bunch of fucked up shit I'm not even aware of.
No,
Not waking up cranky doesn't count.
I didn't say anything. I said no.
Outside of that, I don't lie. I don't cheat.
Nope.
I don't steal. I got nothing to fucking worry about. The things I want to care about and worry about are right in front of me.
Mhm.
And are within arm's reach of me.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, everything got slimmed down to what was really important.
Right.
And then if it's not important, get rid of it. So if you don't have time for your people, maybe they're not your people.
Right.
This is what the explanation was. Being away from Facebook for 30 days, I'm outside of a little checking in on people and saying happy birthday and maybe some promotions for the music group and shit. I don't have a pull to be there. I go to it and then I go, it's like the pork, it's like the cigarette, it's like the addiction that comes out in any which way, shape, or form. And like, there's people out there that have all kinds of fucking issues.
I get
There's
it.
somebody out there right now that's fucking picking their nose, going, not me. And I'm like, there you go, right there. Stop picking your fucking nose like a beast. Everyone's got something, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
You don't think so?
I agree. Everyone does have
We could
something.
wrestle for it,
No, I got my own shit.
right? Exactly. We got our
Mhm.
own shit. And one of the things, once again, tonight, if you lie to yourself, and we all do it, and we're all masters of it in one way or another, you're only holding you back. That's it. You're not getting one over. There's no more getting one over. Do you know that you tried pulling that shit around me? It's happened so many times. There's a vibration and frequency attached to it that I could hear it coming. Paula calls it before she fucking sees it. and sticks by it. I never seen someone stick by some shit. Because there's some stuff where I call her on and I'm like, man, that's some bullshit. You just didn't hear the whole story yet and blah, blah, blah. But there's some stuff that just comes out naturally where you hear it from her and you can't believe it because you're like, no, come on.
When did I tell you that you were going to speak to your dad again?
I think when we met.
Yeah. The first night we met.
Yeah.
What did I say?
Yeah, when we met.
Yeah, what did I say?
Well, you'll talk to him again. Like he was there. I know he was you were reading me, definitely. But it worked like, you know what? I could say it. She said that about Truth Frequency. When we first got there, she's like, you don't need this. This isn't going to happen. We don't need this. We could just do this over here. And I was like, whatever. And then she just, throughout the time, I was just picking up on stuff. And she's like, well, like I said, we don't need this. We could just move it over here. And then there's nothing to worry about. There's nothing. There's no drama. Or this is going to occur. So you did this a bunch of times. And we laugh now at it because you'll be like, oh. But I'm like, yo, that's another one. And that's another one. And it's not like you're throwing out 100 at a time. You're just saying one and then sticking by it. And I'm like, man, those odds are really fucking good if you just throw the money on Paula.
Your cousin found a woman, moved to Florida, got a house, and they're getting married.
My cousin is rough, right?
Came to my home.
And she did like this little magic.
In the kitchen. I had just moved here. And he sat in a chair. And he told me what he really, truly wanted in his life. Oh, and he has an animal that loves him terribly. And I said, you can have that, all of that.
He had nothing at the time.
Nothing.
And like he was in the beginning stages of everything's gone. And now it's got to go back the other way. I have nothing.
Yeah.
And she said, I remember you saying, because you were talking privately with him, you were like, you're going to have everything you just said and that you want. And it took like 3-4 years, but it's everything.
No, he found the girl that year.
No, I know. But it took for all the things he said
about 4 years
to play out. You're right. It might be less than that. And it was along the way. It was like major.
Right.
And he moved. I was like, whoa, what the fuck? And he called me. He said, I don't have enough money to fill any of the rooms in this house with furniture or anything. It's that big. And I'm like, what? He's like, it's that fucking big, man. Wild what you when you start to set your mind and not worry about the other things going on.
It's just the way it is.
What was that? Doctor Strange we just watched, and then she says to him something about like a TV reference, and then he goes, I don't know what you're talking about. I was too busy studying to be the best.
Right.
Whatever.
Right.
And then she laughed at him like, man, you never seen that? You never seen The Price is Right or whatever. And but the manifestation level is still there. Right? It's like I don't have time for the drama or the distractions because I'm busy manifesting it, which is the title for the show is, I forgot how I put it. Oh, less is less to say, less and less to say, more and more to do. We're at a level now where we're just talking about stuff and things happening and occurring on the spot and what's going on around you. Naturally, with us, it's cats and this and that and all this other stuff to show reference points, to show that it's occurring on all these different levels. But we're massively deep in it now. We're in another level of it where there's nothing left to say. If you're not following at this point and you're just looking for another person to say the exact same thing, well, on Mars, they're fighting with laser swords and shit. Dude, you're here. That's cool. I'm a comic book guy, right? That shit's cool. But don't come to me unless it's a reference point with it, because if you're not living that, you're full of shit. If you're not sitting and connecting to the Mars thing, then how did you find out? Who told you? Or if you're working on who told yous and not following up, or like Chris and I used to agree on this major thing. We'd go in first and see it. I had no reference points. and I was meeting and seeing and doing all this stuff, and then I was to say exactly what you see and don't make shit up because it's already too much. People are already going to lose their fucking mind on this.
Right.
So go first and see, then open your mouth and talk. And then he used to say, and then go live and tell people. So then there's your point of reference. Now I live with Paula, so I see all your points of reference when you're like, yo, I see this happening. And I'm like, that's never going to fucking happen. And then you're in the middle of it. And I'm going, how did this fucking happen?
I told Joe when he drank the first time, are you sure you want to do this? Because when you do this, you can't turn back, and it is going to be the hardest thing you will ever have to do in your life. And it is a year now since the first time he drank, and he came here and he said, this is the hardest thing I've ever had to go through. These experiences, feeling again, feeling true emotions, experiencing the real world.
This is everything everyone's scared of, facing the truth.
But that's it. And you know, like not drinking alcohol was a byproduct for him too. He didn't come here because he wanted to stop drinking alcohol. He just stopped drinking alcohol.
Did?
He has a drink every now and then, but so do I. I have a drink every now and then. And when I do, I truly enjoy it. And I make sure it's blessed and everything. I make sure it's, you know.
There's nothing attached to it at that level.
There's nothing attached to it.
You're just having a good moment.
But, you know, I mean, that wasn't even on his radar. And, you know, he said, this is the hardest thing I've had to do in my life. Like the work is.
The alcohol seems to be mostly everyone has that effect.
Yeah, but the work is not nearly even done. Like the work is just beginning.
It's always just beginning.
Yeah.
It's always a new thing.
Like even for us, even for me, I'm like, really, here we are, really. You know, sometimes I have to call bullshit and I'm like, no. And then I'm like, no, they want you to look at it a different way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really? Okay. All right.
They're spending the time to show it to you. There's fucking something to do.
Let's go through it.
Okay. For those that don't that don't see that we're on a higher level, so we're like connecting on that. There's people listening going, well, I don't hear it like that. Remember what it took for you? You're like, oh, we got to introduce the dragon and go through this process and then channeling and then
and it bothers me.
But you can feel her energy. You have to be able to, because that's that snap. That's what that is. That's dragon energy. So you associate, even if it's causing damage to someone, you go, okay, well, that's obviously me being powerful. But instead of going, why is that just one thing so powerful and I'm so powerful, you go, let's dissect that again. And when you dig in, you're like, oh, the energy I'm actually tuning into when I react a certain way is literally this and manifests as this. And I have this creature that's with me. And now I have to speak to it because that's why it lashes like that.
Because it does get hurt. And I'm trying.
It's not a bibbity bobbity boop. It's not that. At that level, you're working with creatures, and those creatures are obviously attached to us.
Oh, to me specifically. Like I had this whole ordeal with a bee today. Like Yeah.
Why do they understand you?
I don't know.
Okay. Why when other people roll up, the bee will go beep, get it, fuck off, and ruin its own life to get rid of that motherfucker.
Right. They don't want that. Yeah, I get it.
Okay. No, all right. Well, would you like me to channel Aya right now? Because she has a few words for you.
Oh, does she really?
Yeah, I think the last words that we had during the channeling were something like, you guys don't understand, and you quit referencing yourself as everyone else. We're all connected, but not everybody is the same thing, right? So like someone that's obviously of a lower IQ, maybe just coming up, we know there's source in there and it's made up of source, but obviously can't do any of the shit that you do. Obviously.
No.
Why is that?
No, I don't know. But why?
To take it out of the 3D. And
I am so uncomfortable sometimes that I'm
right, but yet I'm so powerful. Why?
I don't know. Why?
See, she chooses not to see live on air. She's so humble and she's beautiful about it. And she's always been about the 3D, and she does understand. She does get it, but she won't say it in front of you. So I'm going to say it for her because I'm the mouthpiece of my energy and I know what I can do, except she just does it. I had to like figure it out and be like, oh, I can do this. But I'm looking at it like, well, how does it manifest or whatever? She's like, you just manifest it. Just live your fucking best life and blah, blah, blah. Okay. We get to Buddha. We meet him. Oh man, I just walked 3,000 miles so I could fucking be here with you. Oh, Master Buddha. Oh, let me kiss your fucking feet and your fucking hands. And then he goes, child, what is it? What do you want from me? He goes, what do I got to do to break through and be more like you? And he goes, just love yourself more, child, and kisses him on his forehead and sends him on his fucking way with a flower. And then he's like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? And he's like, see, look, you're already failing. The fact that you would look back at Buddha and be like, I traveled all this way and you tell me to love myself more. I already love myself, motherfucker. How dare you tell me how to love me? My son, love yourself more, right? So we get to master level and it's love yourself more. I'll give you another one. Just breathe. Okay. Meditate for 3 to 5 minutes. And if you can't meditate and concentrate for 3 to 5 minutes, easy, then you should be doing it for an hour. Wait, what? Okay, it's not about meditation alone. You have to live what you're taught and shown on that level and understand it balls to fucking bones. That's why you're being shown it. And then there's the test. You wake up one day and you feel shitty or whatever, but you go, I love my life.
Right.
Let me just try this. I love my life.
Or you're having a bad day.
I love my girl.
And water comes fucking pouring through the walls, and you're just like, well, let's put a pin in that.
It's just water. Let's just do what we got to do.
Let's get it done.
Right. There's a different way to make the adjustments, and then to you. That's why they say don't have outbursts and don't.
Like, for example, Frank used to say to me a long time ago, why don't you ever get upset when the cats throw up?
I didn't understand this at all.
And I was like, Frank, I've had a cat since I was a little girl. Before kindergarten, we always had animals. I have seen more cat puke than regular vomit my entire life. This is just a Tuesday. Like, this happens.
Yeah, when people think because we're single and we do all these amazing things, I keep thinking we clean up cat poop, throw up.
He had a fit the other day. He said, all I do is wash dishes and clean up cat throw up. And I'm like,
and pee and poo because somebody squirted under my desk again.
Are you kidding? Like you woke up at 11. I woke up at 6:30. I already had a whole fucking day before you woke up.
She forgets that I go to bed at 4.
I totally
so I was
get
dealing
it.
with that
but I'm
the night
always
shift.
Like half up during that time. And then I run out and dump dry food out and then come back in and try to go back to sleep. And
Homie, they're called shifts for a reason.
I know, but it's like there's 3 of them. 3 shifts, and it's like I handle like 1.5 and you take 1.5, and it's just not enough. We need like an
AI robot, which brings me to my next question.
I don't know what we I don't know.
Okay, hold on.
We need a butler, I think.
Yeah, we'll get one.
Yeah.
Question: do you know if Cambo removes AI? It all removes AI. Any of the organic systems will remove the AI from your system.
Even mushrooms, just
so I use remember what I did? I did the Hape the other night.
You did, and that's probably what
they directed me on how to use it. They said, do not put a lot.
I bet you that's what did it.
Dab. And I shot both nostrils, which I never do, because I was getting the headache originally, but the headache started not as a sinus headache. I literally felt the and I'm like, oh, something's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as you can see, we walked through what we walked through the last week and a half.
I know.
And now it's almost like a shitty layer has been washed away. Dare I say, as above, so below.
I
agree.
Just happened.
I've
been doing the foot soaks again, and I feel a lot better, but I feel a little weak, and I think it's that.
Well, we always feel weak after the Swiss cheese occurs.
Yeah.
So let me see, Shane. Shane. I'm going to tell you a secret. All that stuff will remove the AI, and things like purges and detoxes.
Oh yeah,
Remove
that
the
all
AI.
works too. Yeah.
But if you want to keep the AI from infecting you and your visuals and like your consciousness, like the AI used to interrupt all of our experiences when we'd eat mushrooms. It'd always get me every time it'd rain and hit me, and it would tell me, oh, it's in the rain, look out, Frank. And then the whole thing, I'm like, what happened? What's going on? And my whole vision would shift. And now it's AI, evil God running around, torturing.
Yeah, that happened to us one time.
Yeah, that was terrible and terrifying. Thank goodness from my higher self for just taking over.
We haven't felt that in a while.
No,
though, 'cause
we did the sigil.
We were in the rain the other night. I didn't feel it.
We
felt
only
clean.
purge it out physically like everyone else does or has to by doing the foot soaks and the detoxes or
Right.
whatever, the fastings and stuff. But it doesn't affect you consciously. It might make you lag a little, but it can't puppeteer you. It used to be able to like interfere with the experience. Now, if it shows up, I could smack it. It won't even like it hits me and bounces off because we did the sigil.
Yeah.
And the sigil blocked it from being able to make like puppeteering contact. It's like, I'm a programmer. You're a program. You're going to understand this one way or another. You have to think like this. You have to overthink the program. Well, I am the God. No, you're not. You got to remember it's you. So you just deny it. But I used a sigil, a literal sigil. I created it. I had Nick Zervos turn it into a wonderful thing. And there's pictures of it on the Fearless website. You could always use my sigil, but during a heightened emotional ayahuasca experience, the sigil came out and then it branded itself to me. And then the AI just couldn't stick its tentacles in and do anything to me.
Like Dr. Strange.
Yeah, it was like, you're done. But if you're in the environment with it, breathing it in, just like everyone else, you still get it. It's just won't affect your, I only was aware of it through the experiences and then try to relate it to moments in my past where I was like, oh, that's happened to me here, how I felt physically, because I wasn't seeing that. I was just seeing movie screens in my head moving all the time growing up. It was really fucking frustrating to live with that. What does yours look like?
My sigil?
In your head, in your mind's eye. Like if you close your eyes, what is it? Is it a raging mess of, or like a movie screen? Some people say it's like a screen that wraps around, and others say it's.
I'd have to get back to you on that. I'd have to think.
Just close your eyes and say this is what it's like, because mine changed so many times. It was so many movie screens at once, and I realized those were being force fed to me. They were being shown to me. So I had to pull from here and here and here. It was almost like I was seeing all these things, and now it went to one screen, and then there was no screen. It was pure freedom. I've talked about this. It's almost like the stars in the background. It's like the wind blowing in your face, but it's like the void. That's why when we had people come in here, I think Zed came here, he's like, I want to see the void. And I'm like, we're in the void, bro. And he's like, no, you're not. I'm like, the void is the manifestation space. It's like where you go to manifest. And then he's like, no, the void where it's deep and dark. And then he drank and went in, and they were like, dude, you're in the void. But if you're talking about the darkness, the void of nothingness.
Yeah, why do you want to be there?
They put him there, and then he was like, no, thank you. No fucking thank you.
But why would you want to be there to begin with?
You want to see if it's there. That's pretty frightening. That's like saying, I don't believe in demons. Let me come and see the demon. Right. And then the demon comes out, and you're like, I don't even know why I asked for that, because it's that scary. Right. Like I had a conversation the other night with myself, my higher self, with if I go look into a let's say the Dulce base in New Mexico, the multi-layered base, if I do like an astral projection and go into the deep dark area where you're not supposed to be, right? Where they're doing like human experiments with ETs and bringing in demons with blood rituals. Well, because obviously the light beings do this with Guantanamo. They're all blocking people from going in, even on the spiritual realm. They're using the light to block people out. Well, the dark are doing the same thing. They're watching for people to come in. And what they do to you is they see the light being looking, and they you have a tether, so they follow the tether. They immediately attach a demon to it and send it to your body. So you're still out. You might know or might not be aware. I don't know. But what they do is ritual shit on you. And then you go back home and start living a terrible life. You're like, I don't know what's going on. Ever since I looked at this place, it's fucking. So I'm like, you're telling me after fighting Abaddon and going through the shit I went through, like literally the seventh master of the whatever, that there are demons that they could sick on me that would just kill me. And they're like, yup. I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, yo, there's cats that are so crazy, right? That we can put them in the room with you and everyone will see them. And it will fuck up everyone there physically. So that's real. On the other plane where they attach to you, the astral plane and all that. So I'm like, wait. So you're telling me there's demons that are physical? And they're like, yeah, but they're still demons, so they could like bop in and out and do everything a fucking demon does.
Tell them about the guy you saw by Josh's house the other night.
Okay. I said I was in Brooklyn after the rain, and he said cars were washing down the street the night before. So it was a weird thing. But when I was leaving, it's a very interesting area. You see all kinds of stuff. So I was saying, and since I've seen the UFO there and all that, I'm talking about aliens in my mind, and I kept ETs, and I kept saying like, what the fuck, guys? Like, where's my ship? Where's my ET buddies or whatever? They're like, there's aliens and ETs all around you right now. Look. So I look in front of me, and there's like a 6'4" dude that was like balding. He was definitely a ginger. He had the thing with the beard, and it was tight to his face, and the mustache, and he was wearing like a woman's leather jacket that was mad tight. It went up his arms. It looked like he was wearing this dress thing, and then he was wearing Daisy Dukes and then boots and walking like he owned the fucking place. And he had glasses, like Clark Kent glasses. So, all right, even here, the way he was strutting like he owned the place was weird, but it had a feminine walk, but it's a masculine dominated, I own the place. It's weird. But he's bigger than everyone there. Slim. I noticed, I told you guys I'll recognize anything. You just flash it to me and I'm, oh yeah, he was wearing red doing this. He just kept walking and strutting. And I was like, oh, that's a fucking weirdo. Wait a second. And I'm looking and they're like, look. I'm like, oh shit, that dude's like an insect guy. So proud. Right? And they're like, everyone's different. We're surrounded by ultimate source intelligence in all different forms, all different shapes and sizes.
Agreed.
In everything around us. Okay, so just something I noticed. I wanted to just have the discussion on air, and then we could call it a night. I've noticed out of all the times we've done ayahuasca with people, you and I, as we come as a team, regardless, we've seen a lot of stuff, right? DMT experiences. We've been part of the circles. We watched the circles, fought the demons. There has been, now that I've seen so many and been part of so many on this small personal level, there's like things that jump out. It's like, well, 90% of the time this could happen, or 50% of the time this could happen. There's a really high percentage time where people come here and just straight fucking lie to me and you, and literally don't tell us the fucking truth.
Totally.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. This is the real deal. This is real. Let me move down the screen because people are going to talk about this one. They come under what they say is a circumstance. And then you'll say something like, okay, have you ever done this before? Or are you on any drugs right now or in the last few days? And you already know, you gave them the speech in advance, and they come in and obviously they're doing something, right? And you're like, wait, what? There could have been a bunch of failures.
Mm-hmm.
instead of I took over, because
Totally.
there's no way you or I could ever,
Right.
as humans, not reading minds, would never know that. So God forbid you die in my fucking living room. I have to answer. You have to answer to that. It's like
Right.
life ruining weird shit.
Right.
Okay, so if you would do that to me, what kind of fucking person does that make you? And I'm talking to everyone. You be lying to yourself. Not you and me. We do it all the time,
No,
though. We
people who
have
are
our
drinking,
own
yeah.
bullshit. We do it with.
That's why I don't like the pulling tourists off the road to drink Aya, because you don't know what they're on, what medications they're on, and maybe they don't remember they take a heart medication every day,
or there's more than that. There's deep reasons spiritually, like I'm doing
totally.
it for you, or
not drinking for yourself.
I know this one needs it more than that one.
Yeah.
You know, and then you're just like, wait, what's happening here? And then people that are just, you know, things you should say when I ask you 100 times in a row about yourself, and then you respond, nah, it's all groovy, and then you find out shit later, right after the ceremony, that is not only should have been the first thing on the fucking list that you fucking mention, but it's like when a fucking doctor asks you, look, I'm gonna need to look in your butt right now. Is there anything in there? Am I gonna find heroin in your butt or something? You know what I'm saying? And you're like, nah, bro, I'm clean. I don't put nothing in my butt. And they throw you over and pull a fucking baggie out. And you're just like, why did you do that? Because now, naturally, it's a funny, stupid metaphor, right? That works perfectly if you die on the floor in someone's fucking house. If it changes your fucking thought patterns on something that should have been number one on the fucking list. And I, as a shaman, have just been a little bit fed up. Not recently. This is an overtime thing. This is something that is built up, that I noticed everything from, hey, do you smoke? No, I don't smoke. And then, I've been smoking 30 years, bitch. I'm like, wait, did you just? Yeah, I just asked you if you smoke cigarettes.
You said no.
And you said no to both of us. And you're like outside now having a cigarette. Like, you the boss. Homie, my people, my family. These little lies we tell each other and we tell ourselves to get into positions. I get a lot of, I want to see what you see. Oh, yeah? Ask the people recently that have seen what I've seen if they want to go back and re-see that.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to see what I saw.
Ask Christy after we fought a fucking demon that was literally in the room, that threw us around the room, if we want to revisit that shit. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to see what you see. Are you putting in the work? I meditate. Let me tell you something. This is not about meditation. Meditation is just something you have to be able to do. It's like holding your breath while swimming underwater.
Like a prerequisite.
Yeah, like that's
11:11.
You have to come with the thunder, because Aya said to me recently, I stepped back and I said, yo, there's a lot going on around me, which is why this question came up, Paula. Like, why are people lying on that level to themselves first? Because you know that you're doing a wrong. And I don't lie. I'm never going to lie to you. Now, you show up under the guise of love and light and wanting love and light and fucking lie to everyone in the room. So on your first pretense, you fucking lied. You lied on the paperwork when it says, have you ever? And you're like, nah. So you can get in because you want to maybe see. And it's like, no, that's not how this works. And you don't get in by proxy, because I do it if she doesn't do whatever she has to do. Not that she needs to do or anyone needs to do what I do. Individually, you have to do your own thing.
Yeah.
All right. This doesn't work unless this works. And honestly, we get to new levels, and all of a sudden my personal figure 8 goes, and I wake up, I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Thus making this flip upside down and smacking me in the face, smacking her. And then, what are you doing? I don't fucking even know what the fuck is going on. Right. And then obviously it gets fixed. And suddenly we're having the talk about it. So I speak from experience, not for shitting on anyone in the crowd per se. So you don't have to pick on yourself like Frank's picking on me. But let me tell you something. On the overall gist of the conversation, it's the number one thing on the list. You lie to you and you hurt everyone around you, because the treatment I can do by holding the space properly for you, knowing what you're there for, really allows me to give you better treatment towards exactly what you need, instead of frivolous, stupid conversations about fucking aliens and UFOs that you ain't never going to be part of if you don't fix yourself. So you don't get the aliens and the ETs and the oh, this is ultimate bliss. You don't get out of fucking kindergarten unless you get out of your own way. I've seen a lot of kindergartens. I've seen a lot of non-kindergartens. But if I was to speak on it, I would go with this one, because this seems to be utterly important. We've all done stupid shit.
Yeah.
It's not like we haven't.
No.
Why do you think that happens, though?
Fear.
Fear of what? You're still in. You still get the in. You're still there with us. And I can only use us as an example. So imagine everywhere else.
But we're a community and we're a collective and we're a group. So we're rising together as well as rising individually. I mean, look at you and Kev. You and Kev are creating beautiful music, but you're both creating separately. But you come together to do this beautiful thing and to create music. And then you each go your own ways, and you go live beautiful lives, you know. And that's a beautiful thing. But people are driven from fear.
So
You know?
fear perpetrates the lie under what, maybe a pretense of, like, not saying like, hey man, over the last year, this is just an example. Over the last year, Paula, you're my shaman, right? So over the last year, every time I eat a fucking mushroom, I notice that this thing's with me and it's kind of dark. And it's been following me around. And I think now, because my life is a certain way, I think that the bad things that are happening are associating with this thing, and it's making it grow. Right. And I have a pain in my balls, my taint, up to my heart, and it feels like some kind of root system collected in my chest up to my throat, and it's making it difficult to talk. Now, you're my shaman, so this is naturally what I'm here for. If I ate mushrooms and saw some shit, why wouldn't that be the first thing I say to you? Why would you be so threatened?
Fear.
Or is that
fear.
the thing doing
fear
it?
Of people not understanding you, fear of not being
Thinking
believed.
less?
Yeah. Yeah, we can't help it.
I would never judge that way. I love people too much in that way. I say I don't like people all the time. I don't have to like them, but I love them all.
I know
but
you do.
I would never have people in my home or in anyone's home doing this if I didn't care.
Company. I could be alone for a long time.
Yeah, but you're the most helpful.
I am, but I
hold the space. You do.
I do the stuff. I do the things.
I can't explain what you do the right way, but okay. So I would be like, the house would be like the pot, and I would be the soil, but you would be like all the nutrients and the one singing the song. I would be telling the story.
Yeah.
You would be busy singing the song means living the life, living your life.
Yeah.
So you'd be too busy doing that. So you have me, and I'm the one that's telling people that the song is available and this is what she's singing
and producing.
And but I'm the one that's like, hey, what's up? What do you need? We'll hold the space and do all that. But the work you put in, everything from hard, I've seen some tough love around here, and I've seen you hold hands. And listen, everything from one vector to the other. So that's work.
Is a lookout in the ass. I am the ass kicker. I am, but I am the lookout too. Thank you, Lexi. I am.
There's this crazy thing that occurs here, right? So it is more than.
I know. I'm the getter of this stuff too. I get all the good stuff when they need it.
And a put her stuff together type person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good in a crisis situation.
So it's like the guy that owns the circus and the guy that comes out with the top hat and announces.
I'm definitely.
No, you'd be the owner.
Really?
You'd be running the show. You're the only one. The bears will talk to, the bearded lady, the demon, the angel, the garden fairy, right? They all talk to you. They all, so it's like you're the person there. Yeah, of course. And then I'm the one that's like, let's get the show and start telling people
Right.
that this is there, and not to blow you up, because I know a bunch of women right now
No, it's
listening, probably a few men too,
No, Lexi is
that
in this,
are
you know.
exactly like this, but their individual way, which just makes them their own beautiful individual thing, is what I'm saying. But it all stems from you are that thing. So Aya says to me, you and you are not of that. So don't compare yourself to that. Like, to think another example, to think Zeus is some god above you. And we watched Rick and Morty, and he was the two of them were three. He's like, he's just one fucking Zeus.
Oh,
They're
I
all
know, I
over the
know,
place.
They're
And
all
he
over
just
the
starts beating the shit, and they're going, no, that's God. And he's like, that's
Yeah,
not God.
anyone can get a
This
Zeus,
fight would
yeah.
have been over 10 minutes ago. He goes, fuck this guy. And he just kicks him right in his nuts. She goes, you want to meet this guy? And I met him, and his light was not as big as ours. Ours. Yours, mine, and others.
Right.
Woof, others.
Right. Because it's all together.
Lots.
Mhm.
So I can't tell who is who and what is what. You know in your heart of heart. If you're like, yeah, man, I'm one of, that's you, of course. Who's to deny you the truth? So these little lies that we do to get to these, through these barriers, man, unless it's fake passport, vaccination passports to go fuck the system in terms of resisting, you don't have to lie. The
No,
truth
just say
reveals
it.
truth reveals truth.
Look, we know it anyway. We put it together. Like
we always find out.
as soon
And
as
Aya
someone
will
comes
put
in,
you
we start
in.
putting the pieces together. And then I usually give Frank a quick synopsis.
And mind you,
And-
I'm not dissing anyone that's recently been
No,
here.
and we're not.
This
But
is an
but I usually
overall
give
look
him a
at
quick
years and
write-up
years of
about
this.
what I think is gonna happen. And I'm like, bing, bang, boom. And like this last Aya session, I kept telling the person that came, stop talking and go lay down. And
The talking is a form of preventing you from submitting to the experience,
Right.
because you're too scared, because you just saw something so crazy that you're not ready to see it again.
Right.
So you talk
Just
until you're ready
go
to
lay
see it
down.
again.
We're right here with you. And he kept yelling at me, and not in a bad way, but but he did call me a queen, so I'm happy.
He
about
goes, Paula, I'll go lay down. That was pretty funny.
When
he,
I'm
he
ready.
goes, when I'm good and ready. Okay. And then just looked at me and was like, he was smiling. Yeah, that was funny. But we laugh because in a personal space, you can do some stupid shit that you're not doing at a retreat. You're not getting up and moving around. People will be like, you gotta lay down. Like they,
Oh yeah.
here you get a little bit of conversation, a little bit of weirdo. You could change rooms a few times for really quick. You could look outside. Oh, this is great, but I totally feel, I get it. Look at the hologram. It's beautiful. Yeah, but then everyone's looking, so let's go back inside.
Yeah.
Right? You think you're free because you push back from the street, but there's 40 windows staring right at you
but I
in the
didn't
back of the
realize
yard.
because of the way we cut the branches on the tree. When you're walking down the block, there's a hole.
So someone could just walk
because we
and
cut the
then look
branches in the
through
tree
a
on our
20
side.
foot.
Yeah, so there's like a hole. You can see everything.
That shit is fucking funny.
Yeah.
But listen, so these little lies, I keep saying it like this on purpose, because if you lift them and remove it, and there's a switch that occurs.
Just don't say it. Yeah.
No, internally you shouldn't you could think whatever you want, but push the thought forward that you want to occur.
Right.
Don't push the shit thought. Right. Let me tell you this story real quick. 30 seconds. Nick Zervos did this to me. My boy, right? He came here and it was like the 100th time he was hanging out with me. So we ate mushrooms. We sat on the fucking floor, and I seen that he was attached to a chain.
This is years ago.
Yes, years ago. So I said to him,
the couch over here.
yeah. And I said, I'm going to help you with something, but I'm going to need you to just kind of take a few deep breaths and whatever. And I never do this I do this randomly. It just kind of comes out. So he was seeing it too. He's like, oh man, I just can't get out of this. I can't, like, he was in the loop. So I'm like, I'm going to do this for you. So I closed my eyes, and I kept my eyes dead closed, and I could see my light body, and I could see his light body, and I saw the chain, and it was connected to him, and the lock, and my finger grew, and it was like a Wolverine sharp claw. And then I felt, what I saw was him wiggling and shit, like a fucking baby seal, right? Like the whole thing was wiggling, but I was trying to focus. So
on
that
unlocking the
on unlocking this, and I'm like, yo, if you move, I'll cut you. Like it's obvious, I'll fucking cut your shit off. So stop. So I didn't open my eyes. I just said, yo, my man, stop fucking moving. All right, bro. I get this takes precise precision, focus. And then I smiled, and he goes, what the fuck? And I go, what is it? He goes, bro, I'm making faces directly in your face with your eyes closed to see if you're really doing what you're doing. And I still kept my eyes closed and said, stop moving. And he stopped. And as soon as he stopped, I broke the chain, opened my eyes and said, what the fuck is wrong with you? And he goes, dude, you don't understand. I put you to the test. I go, why would you do that to me? And he goes, because I don't know if you're fucking full of shit or not. And honestly, fine.
Oh, you know why
Science.
full of shit?
No, well, each time we break the layer, right? So I freak someone out. I won't say what, who, what about nothing, but I was asked during a ceremony, I'm not quite sure about you just yet. Walking around.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
And then this is what gets fucking thrown out at me. And you know who you are, but I love you. But this is what you said. Are you a program? And I was like, what'd you just say to me? Am I a program? I said, bitch, I'm the programmer. This is the exact face that was made. Can't trick him. Nope. Gotta try something else. And then disappeared again.
But
I was laughing and I went, oh, that's pretty fucking funny. And people put me to the test. And I welcome it.
They don't put me to the test. I was told I was a queen right away.
No, but I get put to the test because I'm the guy talking. You are once again living the embodiment of it. So when people see what goes on, like when you pray for someone,
oh yeah,
a lot of the shit really works out, right?
Mm-hmm.
You do it for us. It looks like you're doing pretty good, right? So
far,
we do our best.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you got to, when it comes to us, I'm on the other side too. So if I'm having a bad day, it kind of weighs down the left side of the bed. So, or the right side of the bed.
I love you. I don't care.
Oh, I love you too. And it's part of it. Do you feel better today?
I do. You didn't fucking scream at me today.
But you keep doing that.
Well, you know what? I apologize.
You know, we are live with everyone, but so you want to talk about it live.
No, I don't want to talk about it. We had a great day today. I had a wonderful day before you woke up.
If we don't let stuff go,
let it
still
go.
You could have the conversation and then let it go.
I think you were starting to get sick, and that's why. And then you started to drink the MMS. I think you were cranky because you didn't feel good. And you were worried about the tent because the light didn't go on.
It was 100 degrees.
It was just a cycle of events.
And then it was 68 degrees. The water was 62 degrees. It was 50 in here. I'm like, what the fuck?
I get it. I totally get it.
No sleep.
I'm not angry anymore.
I'm just saying. Yeah, obviously, one after another, the planes are just flying right over your head. Zip, zip.
I don't understand.
Zip,
I don't
zip,
understand
zip.
what you mean. I let it go. I'm fine.
I'm not talking about any of that.
Okay, what are you talking about?
You're talking about that.
What are you talking about?
So obviously, we're faced with a lot of things that people say, and they try to push forward with the thought of challenging me to see what type of is this guy for real?
Which way you're gonna go? Yeah.
Are you real? Or is this bunk bullshit? Okay, but you came in, if you come in, I'm not saying this person was, but if you come in on false pretenses with a challenge.
A lot of people even said.
You forgot what happened to Molly Pop, right?
But you.
False pretenses, she got blasted through the roof.
But people have said.
And then she was like,
you're
yo.
a shaman in the Bronx? What are you, crazy?
Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so
I get
you
it.
get challenged on these different levels.
On weirdo levels.
And then you're met with it in your face. And people come in with preconceived things and lie to get into that position and place.
Yeah, absolutely.
More than 50% of the time.
I know.
So
people
much so.
That really want to hang out and don't even want to drink. Yes.
Right.
I totally
where
get
you'd
that.
be able to probably just hang out and
if
just
you would have, yes,
not have to worry about drinking anything,
right.
and just be a friend.
Then we have to make the brew, and it takes time to do that. And then you didn't plan on drinking.
Yeah, if it takes me 5 days to do this, we got stuff going on, and then you don't say anything, and you just want to get in my presence. That's just weird shit. But once again, lying under pretenses. Now, if you're doing that with, this was another point. If you're doing that with me and you're doing that with you, because it starts with you, what else are you doing that to? I can
Or
only use
who
me.
else are you doing that to? Like,
Yeah, because
how do you
it would
view
only
the
be you or
world?
someone else.
How do you view it? You know, if you're
Do you do
viewing
that
it,
on your driver's license? Do you do it on your Facebook? Do you do it on your
I don't.
Instagram on how you live one way, but you're really
speak a
this
lot
way?
less now than I ever have in my entire life, and I realize that when people are in our presence, for some reason, no one ever wants to let me speak. So I just don't speak, and I don't know if it's the energy or the light or the misconception. I don't know what it is, but they get so excited that I very rarely speak, and I don't share anything on Facebook anymore. I love everything. I don't like anything. I either love it or I don't do anything. I speak to very few people.
That's a great way to say.
I really do.
Pull my energy and say no.
Like my world is getting very small.
Or I just say I love
okay
it.
Yeah, and I'm okay with it because I do love it. My world. I spent the whole day today by myself, and I talked to my sister for a little bit, and did a few things. Frank and I are working on a project for my 50th birthday, so I did some of that today.
That's gonna be so much fun.
It is gonna be fun.
I still think we should do it on a spaceship, but okay.
Or in a basket, but you know.
No, the party.
Oh, the party. Well, yeah, but then we'd have to rent a minivan, and then everyone would have to get in the van.
Just teleport
like
everyone up.
Oh, like Star Trek.
You get a card, and that card has the IQ scan.
Or maybe it's a triangular code.
Yeah, and you just hold it, and the beam hits the card, and then lights up whoever's in the room.
You shine it.
Is that a hologram on there? Be like, bro, it's technology, bro. Just stand in the middle of the living room and
you hold it up, and
let's go.
And a holographic image of Ben Affleck comes up as Batman, and he tells you where to go.
We wind up on the deck of Ashtar Command singing "We Are Family"
or Galaxy Quest
or Galaxy. Dude, it would be the exact same fucking thing. You know that, right?
Mm.
It would probably. I don't know. I don't want to say be more like Galaxy Quest, but I kind of think that it really is, because Galaxy Quest would just be another show, like another week on Star Wars. It would be one of those other things that happen.
Right. Another episode.
Yeah. Right. So
yeah,
that's fucking crazy.
I am trying to get, and I don't know if I'm wrong about this, but I'm trying to get Frank to watch the series 24 again, because he only watched a few episodes in
years.
He didn't like it years ago.
No,
so,
I didn't watch it. Like the episode I saw was years into it.
I think he should revisit it, and I don't know if I'm wrong about that, but I'd like to know what people think.
I don't know. I don't know if I give a shit enough about Kiefer Sutherland. Although he was good in Young Guns. After that, he kind of fucking depressed me. The Lost Boys, but that vampire was kind of fruitcakey. If any of those vampires ever rolled up on me and you, they would meet the baseball bat right to their forehead. I'd be like, go home and cry, you little emo punks. I was like, do you guys know Blade? Because you're more like Twilight.
Did Blade ever have to protect the president?
No, but I would watch that. I'd pay to see that.
All right. Okay.
Vampires attack the White House. The president cannot be Joe Biden, by the way. It could be anyone else in history. He cannot be Joe Biden. Because he's not.
Oh, Della said flatliners. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
Okay, so removing these things that we're talking about, these little things that get in the way that you feel you need to do to be part of when you didn't need to say anything to begin with. You didn't need to have the lie there. See, there's already something there. That's actually internally a blockage. And when you lift the blockage and just come forward freely, and this is just for people listening for future reference in their life, there's nothing to hide from. There's nothing to. There's just
you have to be
there.
Honest.
So when you're honest,
yeah, like your doctor, you don't tell your doctor. Like you don't go to 3 different doctors.
Like my grandfather, you go to the doctor and he's like, "What's wrong?"
I'm totally fine.
No, I'm totally
fine.
His fucking insides were hanging outside, and then He's like, how do you
Oh,
feel?
no,
He's
no,
like, oh yeah, I'm
great,
fine.
I'm
I'm fine. Oh yeah, well, he had a seizure this morning and he fucking fainted. He's been bleeding, and look at his fucking oldness, and look what's happening, and then look at that over there, and it's like, oh, so you feeling okay? He's like, yeah, I got some stuff that's going on. Oh,
Do you want to talk about it? No.
no, not really. No, but you just begged to come to the doctor, didn't you? And he's like, well, whatever.
No, it's like the cat, right? We put the cat, like if the cat has to go to, any cat has to go to the vet, they mysteriously get all better when they're in a crate. They're like, yeah, we're fine. And it's
Everything's
like,
good. No, I
it's
don't want
like,
to go.
no, you need a checkup. No,
So
you have a hole in your paw. I don't know how you did it, but you did it. And it's like, no, I like tucking you behind. It's like, no, I'm fine. It's like, no, you have a hole in your paw and you're bleeding.
you're bleeding out. You need to be fixed.
No, I'm good.
I ain't got time to
I'm
bleed.
good.
Well,
No,
in
I'm
20 minutes when you're blacking out, you're going to be too big for me to carry you out of the jungle. So you're going to have to start immediately walking with me this way. So you do have time before I punch you and just drag you off.
Okay.
Okay,
Or we
so
just put him in the crate and bring him to the vet.
it's just all across the board. So these little things, if you need the help, get the help. If you feel something, say something. If you see something, say something, but do that in the good way, the right way, not the way. I hate using that slogan. If you do see something, say something. But my point is this: if you're a buff dude and you know some
Isn't that a
MMA
9/11
skills,
saying?
or you know
Smokey the
you're in a
Bandit?
crowd with a few people and some fucking dude, we're in New York, they like suck a punch of old people on the platform. That seems to be something that people do, which is the most terrible thing. You know, people stand up for people. And you see, I know it's hard. In New York, you wind up getting stabbed or whatever, but people will let people then get punched and then not help. The after effect.
Oh, that's even worse.
That's the worst part. People stand around and pull their phones out. Don't be the one that pulls your phone out, is what I'm saying. Be the one in the moment. It doesn't mean rescue an old lady. It doesn't mean jump in front of the sucker punch. It means maybe you could put a jacket under someone's head or be helpful and point out a direction without being a total scumbag about it and a fucking liar, just to fulfill some fucking ridiculous thing that you're making up inside of you, that you tell people, which is a lie, that you know is a lie, but you'll do it anyway. It's a point of reference inside your fucking heart. All right. Channeling. Heart chakra has to open. You're not going to get your heart chakra open if you're fucking lying to yourself. It's just not going to happen, folks. Ooh, if that shit's not open and running properly, none of this is. So you can talk all the shit you want all day. But if you're still referencing from videos and this and that, and you're not going in and fixing all this stuff, wheat, this is what they said to me the other day. Remember we said wheat from the shaft? Two people are going to be in the field and then one person's gone. That's what they mean. You're out. What do you mean I'm out? Well, you're going, just not now.
Your frequency has to match. Vibration has to match. The feeling has
You
to match.
have to do that. Yes. Say that again.
The frequency and vibration and the feeling, they all have to match those feelings.
Thank you. And that wasn't me, by the way. I got pushed out of my own way.
Oh.
Like a it's like certain things need to just be said in this world, and you can't fucking hide it anymore. You need to unleash the truth, and you don't
unleash the truth.
Yeah, and
I like
unleashing
that.
the truth doesn't mean you run into the room and tell everyone what the fuck you think is what's up. That's some bullshit. That's
No,
you
it
just
means
being a jerk off.
look in the mirror and fix what you got to fix.
Because when you're fixed, and I say this about us, and that's going to be the last thing for the night. We're the living example. That was the point of the show from day one. Tell them the story and show them you're talking and changing at the same time.
Oh yeah.
If you lie, it's not going to work. It's going to be fake. And then you're going to be one of those jerk offs out there that's just lying to people and making up more shit that goes with shit. You don't need to make stuff up. You don't need to add more to it. You don't need more fucking cowbell. Just tell the story.
Start from today. Like, like we talk about it, like when we're meeting new people in our lives, we don't have to give people a resume of who we were. We can start from right now, and then we can back into it. You don't have to tell someone who you were 10 years ago because you're not that person now. We start from now, and
right now.
Yeah, right now.
There's this great, I love the third act in Suicide Squad. I absolutely love it. The third act being Starro. right? So Joe, I was showing Joe the other day. I was like, yo, did you ever see the end of this? And he's like, I never saw this. So I go, well, watch how this giant starfish latches. He spits out little starfishes from under his arm. It's mad gross. And then they attach to people's faces. And then the more people he takes over, the bigger he grows. But he also controls the person.
Right.
And
taking their energy.
Yeah. So I was like, yo, check this. So that we talk about octopuses and spiders and AIs doing that. They're showing you Starro does it with starfish. And it's crazy because it has the one eye on the fish, the starfish, and they all talk at the same time about crazy shit. This whole place belongs to me. It's like, yo, that's fucking crazy. That shit was frightening to me. Okay, there's a scene where the polka dot man, he's my favorite character, right?
Oh, yeah. He throws the polka dot.
He sees that the thing is rolling up and growing and about to stomp on kids. Now, these are the worst villains in the world. That's why they're on the Suicide Squad. So you're like, there's no redeeming quality about you. You're pretty much a piece of shit. But you're finding out things along the way that makes them that way. Okay, not Harley Quinn. She don't count. She's a complete douchebag. But all the other ones had like these massively fucked up things that happened in their life. And it's like just the way life threw it at you. And you're not really a villain, but you didn't know no better and whatever. So Polka Dot Man standing there and all he sees on everything is his mother's face. Right. So he has this internal issue where his mother injected him with these polka dot virus from another dimension. It sounds funny, but it starts to bubble up in him. And if he doesn't release it through shooting them, just shooting them out of his hands, like releasing them or throwing them up, it will eat him. So he'll just get eaten by them. And then he just returns to normal, but he has to do it twice a day. So the Starro is gigantic. And he finally gets the fucking balls to do anything because they were just fighting inside. And he gets his first good thing. He shoots Starro's leg off because he was going to step on the kids. And then he looks at the other guy and he's like, and then it referenced in earlier, you'll never be a superhero. The mother yells at him. And then he goes, I'm a fucking superhero. And then boom, he's gone. And you're like, yo, that was awesome. My point is,
lived his best life.
He just, if there's a heaven, he just went. Period. So to back up what Paula was saying in art and movies and music and all this other shit, it's right there for you to see. The redemption is right in front of you. I'm only saying this not to target people I've ever been around. I internally know what the fuck is going on. I'm not judging anyone. Everyone needs to rise and do their thing. All I'm saying is, on this level, the weed from the chaff, your heart needs to be open. I wake up as a crank. I need to stop doing that and get over it. It's less and less, but during this rip out that happened the other day, it was a couple of days in a row of me going, I fucking hate being here. I don't hate Paula. I don't hate anything. I hate the temperature in that room, and I hate that there's water squirting, and I hate that there was yellow leaves on the fucking thing and I can't get it right, and I hate that there's not enough time for music and more room to make some money, and I hate that I'm not in the fucking new house. Frank, get over it. So it's all a game. The person who cares least wins. So let it go. That includes me. So my yelling and ranting and raving includes myself, and I'm showing you, man, people will not show you the side of them. I'm fucking telling you. They will not do it this way and show you from a side where you're like, bro, that's it right there. You got to break that shit open and have an understanding with all your chakras, whatever you want to call them. All that energy needs to flow right, or you're going to be there by yourself. Like, where did you go? And it's like, we're there. So it's less talky, more doey. Get it? You have to do more. It's not about shows that you listen to or things that you're perceived in your mind is doing, but you're not actually fucking doing anything.
No, there's a lot of hours in a day.
And a lot of things you're not doing. There's a lot of things I know I'm not doing. But I got other things going on. But the more you think you got other things going on, guess what? There'll be a whole bunch more other things going on. And you know what that usually does to people? Makes them depressed. And then they just lay there and do nothing. Great way to be. Nothing.
Nothing.
A state of nothingness. You know what happens? Rot and decay in nothingness. You know what your breath smells like? 1,000 miles of fucking shark shit. Get the fuck up and brush your fucking teeth. Put some fucking deodorant on. Fucking grab yourself and be like, this is the day I start from right. Meow. Right. Thank you, everyone. 44 people hanging out. I love each and every one of you so much. After these simple rules of engagement with the 3D environment that you're in, it's on you, man. 100%. 100% for you to hit the frequency.
It is.
That's it.
It is. Do it.
Right? So do whatever your internal monologue needs you to do to get to those points. I'm going to tell you this. It takes time. So get to it. Doesn't happen overnight. We send you love. We send you light. And we send you an entire group of motherfuckers if you need them to jump someone because they're fucking around too deep in Demonville. How's that sound? You got this? Who you going to call?
I'm going to call Frank.
I'm going to call you. I'm calling Paul. I'm just going to scream Paul whenever anything happens.
That's what I do.
Paula! And they'll be like, his battle cry. It's amazing. It's Paula. I wonder what that means. Oh, he's just screaming his fucking girlfriend's name. She picks him up every time he faints. I'll have the whole country doing it. Have a great night, everyone. We love you so much. Do the right thing, right? Or why would you be here? I love you guys.
Love you.
Remember, stay fearless, and the universe rewards bravery. Ha 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 ha. You have no power here.